Good morning, cherubs.
Good morning, Heather.
Hello and welcome back. Wait, what do I usually say? Why am I not remembering? I'm literally having what was that? Hello and welcome back to the Cherub Chat podcast. I'm your host, Garden Angel, and big sis Heather Michelle, and I missed you very much. At the beginning of the year, I did say that I was not going to be doing this podcast every single week, but I would try my best to be more consistent. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm trying not to beat myself up for missing, I think, a couple weeks. My goal is to post on Mondays, so that you have a little bit of motivation for your week ahead, and so that you can keep what we talk about mindful in your head. So much has been going on, obviously, this whole year. Finally, we're in February, and we have seen humans be very cruel with acts of terrorism. We've seen natural disasters. We've seen the powers that be abuse power and oppress marginalized groups. We've seen a lot. And if you are feeling sad right now, it is okay. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen I did a spiel about this. Like, it is okay. Let yourself feel sad, but know that with horrific events like the ones we're seeing and we are going to be seeing in the next 4 years comes a lot of change, because we as people get complacent, right? If things are kind of sort of bad, we're not going to do anything about it. Until things get horrific, that's when people get fired up enough to make a change, take action. So just know, we are in the destruction phase of something that wasn't working for a lot of people. And we're about to make America great, period. Because low-key, it's never been great. Not for anyone else besides white men. So I'm confident. I'm also feeling those waves. I'm also sad. I'm currently in like the mad stage. I used to cry like every night. I used to cry every night, and people were like, stop crying on the internet. But you think I'm crying a lot? Come sleep over. I cry even more at home. Anyways, I'm over the crying phase, and I'm into the fucking anger stage. Also, we're in a new location because I got a little backtracked with work. I deleted all of my work. So then I had to I've been playing catch up here. And so I wasn't able to film this podcast episode on the day that I wanted to. I had camera issues, yada yada. And now it's the weekend. Everyone's home. Everyone's listening to my motivational speech. And I'm shy. And we're not doing the show for just anyone, just my cherubs. So we're actually in my living room right now, which has the same couch and like the curtains. So it's kind of similar, but a little different. It might be a little noisy here, but at least I'm just not directly next to my neighbor's bedroom. Yeah, we're comfy, we're cozy. It's Sunday. I have my coffee, and we're gonna get the show on the road. Okay? All right. So this week, today, we're talking about why you are not receiving your manifestations. And I personally am currently going through this a little bit, where I'm like, okay, I'm doing the right things. I feel like I have a good attitude, yada yada. Like, I know I'm a star. Where is my Walk of Fame star? My manifestations are just not physically here yet. So I was like, racking my brain. I've been listening to a lot of Neville Goddard. And just trying to, get into a better mental space. This also ties back into what's currently going on in the world. It's very depressing, and it's easy to go down through this very sad hole. And I literally tell my husband, like, hey, I literally feel like I'm slipping right now. Can we like go walk on the beach? Like, I'm very aware of when it's starting to happen. But one thing I'm doing this year is I'm not letting it happen. I can feel my feelings coming, and I'm going to make myself feel better. Because I want to stay in a positive mindset. And so it's very intentional, very like mind is turned on. I am not working off of automatic and what my body and mind knows from the past, which is, oh, I see sad things going on around the world. I see people hurting. Let me slip into depression. No, I cannot let that happen. I cannot sacrifice myself and my life and my happiness, because that's what the powers that be want. Anyways, long intro just to say that I have been very intentional with filling up my world, filling up my cup, my ears, my brain with really positive, encouraging messages. And I got a comment the other day that was like, you're always beautiful, but you're glowing lately. And I'm like, I think it's because I'm literally being so intentional with everything. My mindset, the way I speak to myself, the way I look at myself, the way I move through my day. I have to be very intentional. Otherwise, I'm just going to slip into the person I used to be. Anyways, so yeah, we're going to be talking about why your manifestations are not coming into fruition right now. And I wanted to pull from real life experiences or real life manifestations that you guys are currently wanting. And so I asked you guys, what are some things that you guys are manifesting? And a lot of it was like financial abundance, career, a husband, peace in the world, and for this little naranja to rot away in the trash can, which I concur fully 100%. So I'm just going to be using those as references to just make examples, basically, because yeah, I feel like it's easier to resonate when the examples are very aligned with what you're going through. And please bear with me. I did write notes because I know I can go on tangents, and then as I'm editing, I'll be like, oh, damn, I forgot to say this. So hopefully this will keep me on track. Okay. But no, when I'm speaking about the universe, I'm talking about God or whatever you believe in. I personally believe in God, but I also think that God governs the universe, and the universe and God are like the same thing. So we're going to say the universe. But I think we can all agree that the universe has nothing but good intentions for you, right? They want nothing but the best for you. And so sometimes it's a little confusing when you're like, okay, well, I'm doing everything I should be doing. Why is the universe not giving me what I want? And what if it's not because they don't want to give it to you, but simply because you are not ready for it yet? And I think we've all heard about divine timing. Everything happens when it should be, but we don't really understand, like, okay, why the timing? Like, why is it not meant to be right now? So we're going to dive into that. But first, a few common misconceptions about manifesting is people sometimes think that it's this very woo-woo abstract thing that only exists in your brain. And like, oh, I'm manifesting my dream car. Manifesting doesn't only exist in like the brain, the woo-woo brain. Manifesting is a very real thing. And basically what manifesting is like something coming into reality. So for example, I'm stressed about this country. It keeps me up late at night. I cry, I stress, maybe I'm not eating or I'm eating too much, blah, blah, blah. And because I'm not sleeping and resting well, that manifests into dark under eye circles, right? That manifests into me being tired throughout the day. That manifests in me not having as much energy to give to other areas of my life. What we're seeing is my despair manifesting into a lower energy in my day. Or a more like relatable, maybe you're putting on really uncomfortable high heels. The high heels are manifesting into calluses. You create calluses, you create blisters. So basically, it's just like an action or a thought or something, a behavior, a habit, becoming something concrete. And so when we're saying manifesting, it's an idea or a dream or a wish, whatever, that you want to translate into the physical world. Okay. Sometimes people think that it is this very effortless thing that you just write down in your journal, I am wealthy. And then you close the book and you don't think about it for the rest of the day and you move through your life continuing as you always have, which in your current reality is not wealthy, right? That's not what it is. Some people think that manifesting is this very effortful thing, this very, very stressful, intentional thing where it's like, okay, I want to be wealthy. I need to glue pictures of money everywhere. I need to talk about money all the time. I need to say, I need money. Where can I find money? Where can I go get money? Where can I create money? It's neither. It's about, okay, manifesting is acting as if it's already yours and basically living your life and acting and taking actions as if you're already in your dream reality. So I heard Neville Goddard say this: the seed simply is, and in being, it becomes. Just provide the proper environments. Isn't that so powerful? A seed that creates this big, beautiful willow tree doesn't have to stress about eventually becoming a tree, doesn't have to worry, doesn't have to check to see if the little roots are growing. A seed just is. And you know that the natural occurrence of a seed's life is that it will sprout and it will bloom and it will become a tree, and over years and years and years it will become this big strong tree. The seed in simply being becomes. There's also this example of people digging up the seed to check all the time. Is it a tree yet? Is it a tree yet? And in doing that, you're ruining all the progress, right? You're resurfacing. Now it can't do what it needs to be done. So the problem comes in when you're supposed to be acting as if you already have, but then you're checking your reality all the time. Checking your bank account. Ugh, I'm still broke. Ugh, I'm still negative. Oh, I still owe debt. So instead of living in the future in your present tense and feeling comfortable and grateful for what you have, you're now looking at the lack in your life. Another reason you are not getting your manifestations is the readiness gap. Okay, so let's say that your blessing is going to be knocking on the door tomorrow. Do you have the skills, the mindset, the readiness for nurturing this blessing? So, for example, if you want a husband and you are living as a single gal, maybe you have insecurities over past partners that have cheated on you, or maybe you're not super confident in yourself, or maybe you haven't fully developed your interests and your hobbies or your experiences. You haven't fully lived life. You've sat your life on the couch scrolling through Tinder looking for a husband. Okay, but what if a husband knocked on your door tomorrow? What are you guys going to talk about? Oh, I remember 2 weeks ago when I was sitting on the couch looking for a husband on Tinder, I had this fun experience. No. What are you going to share? What are you going to bring to the table? And I'm not saying that women inherently don't have anything to bring to the table. I'm just saying to be the best partner, do you have all these tools in your tool belt to be able to foster a healthy relationship, an interesting and fun relationship? Well, if you've been concerned about finding people, you probably haven't had the time to actually nurture and water that wife that lives inside of you already, right? And this wife concept doesn't have to be so archaic of well, I don't know how to cook and I don't know how to clean. It's more than that. It's do I have the skill to support someone through a difficult time? Do I have the skill to encourage someone to be the best person that they can be? Do I have fun anecdotal stories to chat with my husband about? Or do I have interesting hobbies that I can bring my future husband into? For example, for me, I really want to be successful. I want to be well known. I want to be a fucking famous influencer. And I sometimes feel ashamed to say that out loud because it's ugh, fame. That was so shallow. Yeah, what about it? I love this. I love the spotlight. I love the fame. I love the camera. I love being an attention whore. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, well, if fame were to knock on my door tomorrow, am I ready for it? Do I personally love myself right now? Would I be happy with my face put all over billboards? And would I feel comfortable walking in front of a million cameras on a red carpet? Would I immediately say yes to all these opportunities because I'm famous? You know what? Actually, after doing a lot of thought, no, I'm not ready for that yet. No. I personally feel like I can improve a lot in my mental stability, in my confidence, even though I'm very confident. I think I could be more confident and like unwavering. Sometimes I'll get comments that are so harmless and it literally shakes me up for days. It will literally send me into a spiral. And as a commenter, you probably don't think so, but it literally makes me question my entire being. For what? I don't fucking know. That's how I know I'm not ready. And that's why it's not here. Because imagine if I had 10 million followers show up on my account overnight and all of these people had their opinions and rude comments and nice comments. And if I had all these brands pulling me left, right, and center for all these opportunities, would I be ready? No. So I need to start acting as if the blessing is going to be knocking on my door tomorrow quickly. I need to build my confidence. I need to be proud of who I am as a person. I need to become an unwavering person who doesn't give a fuck whether people want her hair to be blue, black, whatever the fuck. And the universe is protecting me and my mental health and my highest interest by not giving it to me now, even though I'm kicking and screaming and crying and fucking wondering, what am I doing wrong? First off, like we said in part 1 in that first suggestion, I'm just keeping myself in my current reality by constantly being like, what am I doing? Why don't I have? I'm looking at my lack, first off. Second off, I need to start preparing as if it's coming tomorrow. For example, maybe you want a promotion, but you lack leadership skills. You don't know how to speak to a room. You don't know how to attract respect or loyalty. You want a house, but your apartment is a sty. Your apartment is trashed. You have no love and respect for your home now. So how do you expect the universe to plop a beautiful, brand new, spanking, gorgeous, well-kept house in your path when you have not shown that you are ready for that stage? Financial abundance. If you had $1 million plopped on your doorstep right now, would you go out and blow it at Louis Vuitton and Gucci, Prada? Or would you pay your bills? Would you pay down your debt? Would you invest? Would you go speak to a professional to help you properly funnel that cash into the appropriate accounts? Or would you ball out? Brands, logos, purses, luxury restaurants. Maybe that's why. Okay, obviously there's a lot of like nuance, and I'm not saying that people are in bad positions all the time because they haven't prepared for it. But to a certain extent, that is a potential reason. So start preparing. And be thankful that your blessing isn't actually going to knock on your door tomorrow, because I can guarantee you what it's going to take to prepare for that blessing is going to take longer than one day, longer than a week. But if you're excited for it, and be excited for it, be thankful that it's coming. It's knocking. I know. The second I order something, it could be here tomorrow. And I'm just ready and I'm waiting. And you know what? I'm staying so busy preparing that I don't even have time to check the tracking number. I'm just so gratefully engulfed in the preparation of this blessing. And expressing gratitude is assuming you already have it and you already are. So ask yourself, what would my life look like if I already had this blessing? What would the daily routines look like? What would it require of me to maintain this blessing? And start building on that skill or that routine or that habit or that mindset that you assume it would require. Because once you start building those, one, you're going to start becoming the person that is wealthy or famous or has a husband or has a house. But two, then you're telling the universe, oh, okay, she's ready for her upgrade. She's ready for her promotion. She's doing the work. But it's not this work that comes out of desperation. It's this work that comes from knowing and it comes from joy and it comes from gratitude. And that's very important because maybe the action looks the same, but the energy is very different, and the energy is everything. Some ways that you can prepare for your manifestation is clearing out space, getting rid of what doesn't align with that future version of you. So if you really want a house, but you have a whole bunch of rinky-dink furniture that you're not obsessed with, start getting rid of it, clearing it as if, oh, I'm moving into my house tomorrow. Do I really want all this clutter? Do I really want all this broken stuff? Or do I really want nice, curated stuff that I'm obsessed with, that I love? Take inspired action. Like I said, that's coming from joy, from gratitude, from knowing that it's coming. You know, it is coming. So either I could prepare now or I could prepare in 10 years, but it's coming. And I'd rather have it sooner than later. So let me start preparing right now. If you want a husband, maybe you start preparing a list of essential requirements for said husband, so that when they come knocking at your door, you can have the discernment of knowing, is this mine, or was this person meant for someone else and they came to the wrong door? If you want financial abundance, but you have no financial literacy or budget or saving systems in place, maybe you need to get on top of that. Career, maybe you want career success, but you are not pivoting or changing or developing or acquiring new skills. I'm talking to myself. Like, I want to be famous and I want people to enjoy my content and I want people to see all the hard work I'm putting in. Okay, I'm working hard and I feel like I'm putting in a lot of effort for this content, but if 10 million people were to come onto my page tomorrow, would they think the same? Would they look through my page and be like, oh my gosh, yes, bingeable. Like, this is my new comfort content creator. All her content is flawless. All her content is so inspiring. It's like A1 outfits, A1 makeup, A1 hair. No. I look through my own page. I'm like, these outfits are kind of mid. How am I saying I'm a fashion influencer or a makeup or hair influencer, but all my shit's kind of mid? So let me step up, actually, because I want to provide my 10 million followers with amazing inspiration. I want them to devour it with such hunger because it's so good. I'm not there yet. So I need to start working on that. Another reason you could not have the manifestations that you want is because you're not enjoying the moment. You're not living in the moment. And this can kind of seem contradictory to my first point, where it's like you're just checking your reality too often. This is coming more from a place of, you're never going to be a nobody ever again. What if this is the last time I can go to a grocery store without paparazzi taking pictures of me? And that's kind of crazy, I know. But like, that's just an example, right? Or you want a husband, but what if this is the last night you can have a girls' night and you can bring all your girlfriends over after to sleep over and fucking eat junk food and like watch Sex in the City on the couch in like your underwear and a big t-shirt? Because when you get a husband, there's going to be a husband right there. Are your girls going to feel comfortable being in their underwear and a t-shirt? Probably not. So learn to savor what you have now, because if your blessing is knocking on the door tomorrow, your whole reality can change. So enjoy it thoroughly in the moment for the last time, instead of constantly desiring and wanting and so desperately wanting out of your current reality. Enjoy it. Be grateful for it. You know, like, if you want a house, be grateful for your apartment. Enjoy the fact that if something breaks, you call a maintenance man, you don't have to pay. Your landlord will take care of it. Enjoy the fact that, my Sunday resets are so short right now because I have 1,000 square feet to clean. In the future, when I get a house, I'm going to be very grateful to be able to clean so much beautiful space, but it's going to take me twice as long. So I'm enjoying the quaintness, the coziness of such a small space. Or I live in a certain city, but when I move, I'm not going to be in the same city. So let me enjoy all the little coffee shops and the restaurants that I have so close to me. Let me enjoy the moment. Let me savor this, because today could be the last day that I live such a cute little quaint life in my cute little apartment. And lastly, maybe your blessing isn't ready for you. Maybe the house isn't even built yet. Maybe your husband isn't out of their relationship right now. Maybe the economy isn't at a point where it's ready to funnel that cash into your business or your idea or whatever for your abundant wealth. Things are working themselves out right now. You can't see that, but just know the end result is going to be there. And just have trust and just know and let go. I personally need to remember this. Like, just because it's not happening right now does not mean it's not happening at all. The universe is not trying to sabotage me by sending me an undercooked man. The universe is not trying to sabotage me by sending me some rinky-dink little house that was built in 2 weeks. The universe is not trying to sabotage me by sending millions of people my way to watch my content and support me if I don't have the type of content that I want to be known for right now. Because I've been there. I've done that. I've posted, a concert outfit inspo, and I got sent a lot of viewers who were concert goers, festival goers, and that's just not who I am. And I was not ready for that. And I was not ready for that video to be the one that popped off. So I think the universe is not trying to sabotage me again. Maybe they're waiting for me to iron out the little details and let me find my groove with my content, my workflow, my schedule, so that when I do find my groove, boom, okay, now you're ready. Now you can handle it. Be patient. Just know it's going to happen. It's meant for you. And I think one of the most important things to remember is that if you have this desire in your heart, it is meant for you. The universe is not that cruel to put something on your heart and not have it ever be attainable. It might be on a different scale than what you think. The universe has a specific little version of that for you. And sometimes it's even better than you imagined. I think about when I wanted a Bronco so bad, I was so dead set on a used one because I was like, I can't afford a real one. And all the used cars that I went to go see, they just weren't right. They just weren't right. Or the people would not budge on the price. Tell me why I got a new car and the dealership was like, yeah, we'll knock this price off. Da, da, da. And they're so accommodating, so easy. So flow. It was easy. It just flowed right to me. And now I have a new car. The universe said, I'm not giving you a used car with 100,000 miles. I'm not giving you something that might break down in the next 2 months. You've been working hard. You've been waiting. You deserve a brand new car with brand new tires, with brand new this, with leather that still smells like leather. You wanted here, but I'm going to give you here. And I just had to have a little extra patience. And I'm so glad that I did not pull the trigger on those other ones that I was looking at, because I just wanted it so bad right now. And that's the danger of desperation, because sometimes you'll just take anything. And that's not meant for you. So relax, kick your feet up, move with aligned action, with the end in sight. But don't force yourself to act. Let your actions come from flow, from joy, from discernment, from knowing. And everything will fall into place. So, besties, it's only February. Remember that. A lot of us have made a lot of manifestations, and January was a tragedy of a month. A dumpster fire of a month. Oh my gosh, I cannot talk. And a lot of us were like, oh my God, the year 2025 is not meant for me. My dreams are not going to come true. It's been 1 month. It's been 1 month. Have patience, have vision, have trust, have faith. And yeah. Okay, wait. Now we need to go on to the cherub's questions. I went out on a date and I think he's married, but now I like him. Okay. First off, bestie, you deserve better than someone who's taken, but we don't know yet, so just ask. Hey, are you married? Hey, do you have a wife? Hey, do you have someone who thinks that they're in a relationship with you? Because men are tricky. Men will slime ball themselves out of things with technicalities. Well, no, I'm not. And they will say it with their full chest, with a clean conscience. No, I'm not in a relationship. Because in their head, they're like, well, no, I don't think I'm in a relationship, but this girl thinks we're in a 10-year long relationship and she thinks that I proposed. And blah, blah. So speak like a lawyer. Speak very clearly and technically. Does anyone think that they're in a relationship with you? Is there anyone in your life who would be upset that we are going on a date? Do you have any commitments that might feel disrespected by us going out? Ask point blank, period. Because you do not want to keep falling into like and potentially love with someone who is married. Because if they did it with you, they will do it on you. And you do not want that. And going back to, you have to have patience and you have to have discernment and know which one's for you. If he's married, babe, that one's not for you. It's not. And if he wants to get out of a marriage, that's on him. And maybe that's his path. But it's not going to be the path with you, because you're just going to be in for a world of heartbreak if that's the case, because they did it once and they're going to be able to do it again. Once they cross that boundary, it's like nothing. It's like a doorway for them. But if it's a brick wall and you put your boundary, you cannot go into this room. You live in that house, babe. Go ahead and get out of your contract over there before you walk in here. So if I were you, I would address it. Boom. And if he's married and you like him, I'm sorry, I don't give a fuck if you like him, but he's married. He's married. Leave that man alone. I love you though. And I promise you there are plenty more men that are available out of relationships that mark everything that you want in a spouse or a husband or a partner or whatever. Because I'm sorry, men, they're not that special. They're not like us women. We're like such beautiful, magical little creatures that have all these beautiful little nuances and quirks inside of us. Actually, no, I tell my husband all the time, like, whatever you're going through in a marriage with me, like, you could literally marry anyone else and I promise you'll have the same experience. I'm different. Obviously, like, I'm a unique person, but women as a whole, marriages as a whole, like, you're gonna run into someone who's gonna be petty about a dish that they didn't wash, or you're gonna come into women who have messy closets. Like, that's a universal thing. Okay, where was I going with that? Oh, I promise you will be able to find someone else who you like. They're not that special. Like, they're not that unique. You can find dime a dozen at the grocery store, dime a dozen at the Home Depot, dime a dozen at the fucking gym. Go find one who's not taken. Okay, love you. Let's see what the cherubs had to say. Oh, and I think that's very important to note, because there's people that will hang on to situations because they're like, oh, but I can guarantee you can find 3 more today if you step out of your door. Do not hang on to situations that no longer work because, oh, but he's married. I can guarantee you can find someone who's not married. Oh, but he's in a situationship. Oh, I can guarantee you can find 5 more just like him. Probably the same name too. This cherub says, better start being the FBI and find out messing with someone's marriage isn't right. I concur. I swiped up with my response because it's too long. Ooh, let's see what she said. If she's married, she needs to confirm that for sure. Because if he is, she needs to cut him off immediately. There are plenty of single men out there. Please don't go or try to pursue a married man, because you'll end up being played worse than he's playing his wife. And I'm pretty sure amongst mistresses, they always say they never leave their wife. They always say they will, but they don't. And they'll string you along for years and years and years, and you'll just be a little side piece, a little slot machine where they can swipe their card, but they're still going to go home after it. And they're still going to provide and cuddle and make memories with someone else. And you're going to be this little secret, no. Don't do that for yourself, babe. Okay, this next cherub said, confront him if he's not married. Confront him. If he's not married, good. If he is, move on. Simple as that. Period. Next question. Wait, does anyone remember that girl from TikTok that was like, next exercise? I don't know what happened to her. Okay, next question. I want to go back to being outside like I used to before COVID. And by outside, I mean prior to prioritizing myself, gym, hangout, solo dates. But now more than ever, my mom acts sus with me at the age of 23 more than at the age of 18. She's trying to find a dumb reason as to and give unnecessary input when most of the time she'll bitch that I don't have hobbies. And her and my dad make up scenarios in their head that I have a secret man. I want to take that part of me back with respect and grace, but it feels slightly difficult. Okay. I completely relate as a Latina daughter who had a lot of rules on her, despite me being a responsible, appropriate, very, very actually naive and innocent girl. My mom always assumed the absolute worst about me. And I also paid my bills, paid for groceries, paid for gas, paid for my car, paid for insurance. I was a full-grown adult, and she was still governing over my life as if she was literally feeding me in a high chair still. But she wasn't even paying for shit. So, it can be difficult if you live in their house because ultimately they can still be like, well, you live in my house. Even though you pay rent, it's like, okay, you're still in my house. And be like, can we meet somewhere in between? I'm not going to be living in your household forever. I'm eventually going to be doing whatever the fuck I want. Obviously, use nicer language. Eventually, I'm going to be able to do whatever I want. And do you want me to go out there, balls to the wall, and go experiment and party and go crazy because you restricted me for so long under your household? Or do you want me to be responsible and grow that skill of living life while still being responsible, while still having a good head on my shoulders and good intuition? Well, right now, you are not allowing me to learn my own way around the world. And all you're doing is delaying my development as an adult. So if you really love me, you're going to let me have a little bit more freedom. I understand respecting the household, and I understand not doing certain things that you don't agree with. But if you really love me, you're going to have to let me learn on my own. And if you want this open relationship between you and I, where I come to you when I need help or with certain instances where you want us to kiki and hang out and have an open relationship, you need to let me be open and let me express to you how I'm really feeling without judgment, without instantly going into argument mode. Listen to what I have to say. Think about it. You don't have to say something quickly. You don't have to respond quickly. Just listen. That's all I'm asking for. And understand how I feel right now as a 23-year-old. You were 23 once, and maybe your life looked very different, but had you not had kids or whatever, I feel like Hispanic parents have kids very young. What would you have wanted? You would have wanted respect, right? And I mean, think about all the things that you had to manage at 23, all those responsibilities, and you don't think I have the responsibility of taking care of myself by going to the gym and going out with my friends or even dating men? That's a little ridiculous. So I would just honestly come to them as an adult and speak to them as an adult because you want them to respect you as an adult. And hopefully they have that. And if they start yelling, I am not having a conversation that includes yelling. If you'd like to speak to me later when you are calmed down, we can do that. Right now, I'm going to go into my room and I'm going to separate ourselves because we're not having a productive conversation. Boom, period. Bye. At the end of the day, though, parents have this one thing where they think that they own children, when in reality, you simply birthed a child. Now they are their own child. And yes, for the first 18 years, you are legally required to take care of them and to guide them and to hopefully make them into outstanding citizens. But after that point, you do not own me. You do not have legal rights over me. So please treat me as such. You do not own me. I am not an extension of you. I am my own person with my own DNA. I have my own consequences should I decide to break the law or be a success. They're my own consequences. So just let me fuck around and find out. basically. All right, what the girlies have to say. Start going to the gym and make it your happy place so you can get some peace. Okay? It's time to move out no matter what they think of it. Living with parents like that is stressful. I know currently it's very difficult to move out on your own. I mean, obviously, the prices of everything is crazy. The prices are only going to continue to go up higher. So if it is possible to salvage that relationship, and if it is possible to live at home while still being happy, I would say please try to make that happen. But if you can't, maybe go find a few friends that are willing to split an apartment, and maybe you can have that as your place to be free. But I would say always try and be civil and speak to them in a productive way. But if not, yeah, I think you have to withdraw yourself and set boundaries, and have boundaries that have consequences. Because if you're oh, well, I'm an adult, and then they're no, you're not, bye, and you don't do anything in response, they're not going to respect your word. So I don't know what that boundary would look like for you. Maybe if you are not choosing to spend time with them anymore, or maybe you choose to not speak to them. I don't know what that consequence looks like, because as we know, I just cut off my parents. Oh, okay, you're not going to respect me? Bye. I'm not going to be here anymore. That's it. That's all. You don't have to show me multiple times. Actually, they showed me over in the span of 20 something years, but I'm just not going to let you cross my boundaries more than once. My big boundary draw was me leaving. Well, they kicked me out, but you know what I mean. That was the big boundary, and I was okay, now you're officially not allowed to talk to me like I'm a fucking child. And should you try to, it's over, bye. And that's what happened, and I peaced out, and I'm never looking back. And I realize that not everyone can do that, but that's, I think, the biggest power move. Anyways, that is all for today's episode. I hope this was helpful and not all over the place. I love you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you. Oh, don't forget, it's No Spend February, and if we want to make any changes in our society, we have to put our money where our mouth is, and we have to vote with our money. So only essentials. And if you are buying essentials, please purchase from local businesses and or businesses that are still upholding values that you believe in. Okay? I love you guys. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next week. Bye.